Before we get going, there's a couple of birthday shout-outs that we need to do. Firstly, a very happy birthday to Seb, who will be 8 on the 25th of May. I hope that you have a really, really good day and you enjoy yourself. Seb lives in Qatar, the same place where the World Cup was held, and he was lucky enough to go to the World Cup final. What a moment and a memory that will be. So a big shout out to Seb, who plays for Evo Sports and is a huge football fan, and his brother Ozzy, who is also a listener of the podcast and absolutely loves Erling Haaland. A massive shout out to the pair of you, and thank you so much for being listeners. Happy birthday, Seb. Another birthday shout out this week goes to Kip Nolan, whose birthday is on the 22nd of May. So happy birthday to you, Kip. I know that you are a massive Fulham fan. I also know that you've got a big treat in store for your birthday in relation to Fulham. Hello and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Chelsea player and Lioness forward, Lauren James. But before we do that, we need to do some shout-outs and some messages. The first one says, "Hi Darren, we are Henry, aged 8, and George, aged 5, and we are both big Newcastle United fans, just like our dad. Please could you do an episode on top Premier League scorers of all time and especially on Alan Shearer, our dad's favourite player." Well, thank you very much to both of you for your message and for being listeners. Don't worry, Alan Shearer is an episode which is coming up in the not so distant future. Keep your eyes and ears open for that one. The next one says, "Hi Darren, this is brothers Spencer, aged 8, and Edgar, aged 6, all the way from Sydney, Australia. We are both big Tottenham fans and we love listening to your podcast. Our favourites have been the ones on Ronaldinho and Harry Kane. We'd love for you to do an episode on Sonny and my dad's favourite players, Gaza and David Ginola, please. Finally, please could you do a big shout out to Balmain's under-9s Lions and Balmain's under-7s Hornets. Thanks, legend, and keep up the great work." And that's from Spencer and Edgar. Well, thank you to both of you for being listeners, and thank you for your message. Don't you worry, all of those have gone onto the list, a very long list of episodes that I absolutely must write. And the last one is a great big shout out to Finley and Alex, who's age 4. Finley was 8 on the 2nd of April. The boys both listen to the podcast every night before bed and they absolutely love it. They also spend every afternoon they possibly can in the garden playing football and practicing their goal celebrations. Finley is a Chelsea fan and would be thrilled to hear an episode about Mason Mount. Well, thank you to both of you for being listeners as well, and don't you worry, Mason Mount has been on my list for a very long time and it is one that I will write in the not so distant future. I hope you had a really good birthday, Finley, on the 2nd of April. Thank you so much for both of you for being listeners, and I hope that you both enjoy this episode. Right then, let's get into this episode about the brilliant Chelsea player and lioness, Lauren James. Lauren James grew up in a place called Mortlake in London with her brother, who is the Wigan, Chelsea and England player Rees James. When Lauren was growing up, her and her brother would take every opportunity they possibly had to kick the ball about at the local field, which was situated just behind their house. Rain, snow, wind, sunshine, they would be there. Lauren's dad said that they would be there for hours. They were completely obsessed with practicing their football. Lauren said that when she was growing up, everywhere she went, she would play football. It's all she had around her. Football clearly filled Lauren with a lot of joy. Lauren is 2 years younger than her brother Rees, and at a young age, Rees was very good at football. This only made Lauren better though, as she loved the challenge of keeping up with the speed and agility of her older brother. It only made her better, and without doubt would have been a huge contributing factor to her success today. Not only did Lauren develop into a great young footballer because she played with her brother and the older kids for hours on end, but her dad coached her and Rees, and Lauren said that the very high standard of coaching sessions that her dad put her and her brother through were massive to her developing. When Lauren was growing up, she was a big Chelsea fan. In fact, both her and her brother were massive Chelsea fans and were inspired by watching the team play when they were young. When Lauren was around 6 years old, she was scouted by Chelsea and was seen as a player with enormous potential for somebody so young. For a young Chelsea fan, this was a dream come true. Lauren was a part of the Chelsea Youth Academy under-10s and stayed with the club until the under-14s. When Lauren was 13, she left Chelsea to join the Arsenal Youth Academy. When she joined the Arsenal Youth Academy side, she played with the boys team, but after some time, she joined the Arsenal women's first team and made her debut at the young age of 16 years old. Lauren made history that day in 2017 as she became the second youngest player in history to make their debut for an Arsenal senior team. After around 3 years with another London club, Lauren was off to the north of England to join Manchester United. It wasn't long before Lauren would make a name for herself at Manchester United, as she started banging goals in left, right and centre. In the opening game of the first season with United, she scored the 2 opening goals in a 12-0 away win at Aston Villa. When Lauren was playing at Manchester United, United were in the women's second division, but in 2019 they won the league and were promoted to the Women's Super League, and Lauren James made history by scoring Manchester United's first ever goal in the Women's Super League. Lauren ended her time with United after 56 appearances for the side and is still one of the all-time top goal scorers for the Manchester United's women's side. In 2021, Lauren got the opportunity to move back to the club which she supported as a kid and where it all started for her. She'd moved to the north of England and was away from her friends and family as a teenager. She did it to follow her dreams. But to move back to Chelsea would bring the 2 most important aspects in her life together: football and family. Lauren signed a 4-year deal with her childhood club and is still with the Blues today, playing at the same club with her brother and a short drive away from the closest people to her. Lauren has settled in just perfectly at Chelsea and has been a huge part of the team's recent success. There was one goal this season that Lauren set up for the Australian player Sam Kerr. Behind the halfway line against her old club Manchester United, she had the vision to hit the ball high into the air and dropping it into the box perfectly for Sam Kerr to control the ball and smash it into the back of the net. A truly sensational assist and a goal by the 2 of them. If you haven't listened to the episode about Sam Kerr yet, that episode is available to listen to now. Not only has Lauren made some serious statements at just 21 years old in club football, but she has also represented her country and scored for her country. And this year, she will hopefully be a part of a Lioness squad that heads off to Australia and New Zealand for the World Cup tournament. I hope that you've enjoyed listening and learning about the story and career of Lauren James so far. And without doubt, we'll have to do a part 2 in a few years' time, because you bet there'll be plenty more to speak about. So, remember, if you know somebody who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly, or pitchside, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.